Hey Alaskans, it's almost that time again. You know, when we send our legislators to Juneau to hammer out the state's budget. But lately, that process has been on spin cycle. Cut the budget, pay the PFD, we need state services. So what's the answer? Alaskans like you are smart, practical, and you know how to balance your own budget. We're hoping you'll help the governor and the legislature do just that, balance the budget. The problem is it's looking like the state will be at least $1.3 billion in the hole for the same programs we have this year. That means they'll have to spend a lot less or raise a lot more revenue, or both. There will be no easy answers, only hard choices. So how'd we get here? The basic problem is that oil production and oil prices have been in long-term decline. Revenue from oil, which for decades paid for more than 80% of the state budget, has fallen drastically. For the last 10 years, general fund revenue from oil averaged around $4 billion. This year, it's less than $1 billion. While spending has been reduced in recent years, it wasn't enough. To help, 2 years ago the legislature approved a formula for how much of permanent fund earnings could be used each year to help pay for state services as well as the dividend. This was an important change. Before, permanent fund earnings had only been used to pay for annual dividends. While the new law enabled the state to continue state services with this additional money, it also meant elected officials had to choose how much went to pay dividends and how much went to pay for state services. This has been a tough tug of war. And what makes it even worse is that the state has been spending from other reserves to help prop up spending. Since 2013, it has spent $15 billion, and now little is left. What this all means is that the state expects to be at least $1.3 billion short in funding the same level of services and dividends. So that's why the governor and legislature will face very hard choices about next year's budget. There's no savings to help cover the deficit, and oil prices are expected to remain low. Our state leaders need to find a way to balance the budget by some combination of spending less, bringing in more recurring revenue, or both. And that's where your help is needed. We've put together spending and revenue options. Are you ready to help make the hard choices? Here's your chance to let the governor and legislature know what's important to you and how you would balance the budget. Click the link below to start making your Alaska budget choices.